On October 2nd, 2023, Georgia Transparency attended the Moreland City Council meeting in Moreland, Georgia. GT was in the process of looking into something different that will be followed up later on. However, GT discovered something else that appeared to be something. Major Warren Campbell with the Coweta County Sheriff's Office attended in what appeared to be his official capacity. It looked like he promoted a private product to the city of Moreland in reference to flock cameras. Mr. Harris, a former CCSO deputy and co-worker of Warren Campbell, appeared to be the salesman of flock. Major Warren Campbell looked to have been attempting to sell flock cameras to Moreland, as well as releasing sensitive information according to CCSO.
Harris and flock, Tyler, if you'll stand up, and I've got Mr. Warren Campbell here also from the Sheriff's Office. I talked with the Sheriff about these particular cameras, and this young lady here says a safety officer?
No, I'm at school. I work with schools, K through 12 and higher education.
Okay, higher education. And your name was?
Katie.
Katie. So if you would, Tyler, if you'll start and tell us a little bit about the flock cameras, and we'll get these other folks involved with us, and tell these folks what the flock cameras can actually do for us in the residents of the town of Moreland.
Absolutely. So this is our Falcon LPR. Basically, it's a license plate reader. Car passes by, it takes a picture of the image, or an image of the vehicle, then records the tag. The Sheriff's Office then has the ability to go back and search it within 30 days of that image. If a car goes by, it has no tag, it still takes the image. It just doesn't have, it doesn't read where the tag would be. It's great in investigation. So like the homicide that happened at exit 41 at the Pilot truck stop, this is what caught that. This was the first piece of evidence was off of one of these. Because nobody involved in that case was from Coweta County. They were all from Columbus. So had this not been there, it would have delayed the process of starting that investigation on where to lead from. And then much like, I'm sure you guys are aware, the Sheriff's Office likes to chase cars. Well, let's say they get off at exit 41 or down at 35 at Grantville. They come up through Moreland because they, maybe they lost sight. This can help confirm where that vehicle went, so they can follow up later date, maybe pick it back up on the chase, or just follow up in an investigative stand. Any questions on that?
Well, my question: can citations be written off of those cameras?
No, they do not. They do not detect speed, and they do not mail tickets or anything like that. That's not something that we're about. We're about trying to get evidence for investigative purposes, and our company goal is to eliminate crime by building partnerships with law enforcement and the community.
We basically put those on 29, is that correct? 29,
and I would say, I think it's Bethlehem Church Road to the west and Martin Mill to the east. So that way, basically, you can't come into the town without, you guys know.
So we'd need 4, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
What kind of cost are they?
They're $3,000 a year.
$3,000 a year.
And it's a subscription based, so we own the hardware. Correct. We own the hardware, so if it goes down or fails or anything like that, that's on us to replace or repair whatever may be necessary. So it's kind of a hands-free situation. For us, they're all solar powered. We can do an AC install, and they work off cellular data. So basically, we just need some dirt to put a pole in the ground, and we can make this work.
How big an area does that cover?
They'll capture 2 lanes. So 2-lane roadway, we can capture vehicles going up that.
Okay.
One direction.
One direction, correct.
Because we have problems with trucks turning around and going on side streets and things like that, turning around where Lisa works in the parking lot.
I've seen that a few times when I worked at the Sheriff's Office. And they would get stuck on the train tracks especially, and trailers out in the roadway. But yeah, that's what we do one direction.
Like that on Church Street, semis turning around.
Oh yeah. And that GPS reroutes them when they miss their turn, I guess, at Amazon especially, I'm sure.
How would that benefit Moreland for the 18-wheeler situation?
So I don't know on how it could be used in that. Do you have anything major on?
If you've got a reoccurring tractor trailer that you know is causing property damage, driving over curb, street signs, stuff like that because of improper turning, you've got that data, you've got that tag logged in for 30 days. The city council can determine whether or not they want to do any administrative fines. If it's a resident, if it's somebody who, a company who has one of their drivers who continues to try to park here, because we got tractor trailers that park on the side of the interstate and exit ramps prior to arriving to town. It's archived. So we know in advance like what's been happening over the past 30 days.
No, once they come down Church Street, they never come again. It's always somebody new because it's too hard for them to get.
Also, the trucks knock down signs and telephone poles and everything else like that.
That data's
Fire
been
hydrants, a lot more than what y'all think, trust me.
I seen on Church Street on the fire hydrant right there in front of my mom's house there, Cap Street. Tammy and them's yard.
Yeah.
I seen them all on the, in that yard. Knocking fire poles down, across 29 there.
Yes, sir.
My question about the units. You said that they were $3,000 a year per unit. So that's a good thing to have, I would think, for the county, of course.
Yes.
Would that be an extension of the county, or would that be a direct cost to the city of Moreland, since we don't have any patrol?
So you can purchase this and share it directly to the county. So the county already has these, but obviously the county can't afford to put them in every town within the
So it's tied into their system.
Correct, but that's up to you guys to decide. You don't have to do that. You could restrict it to where only maybe certain board members have access, or you can just give it full-fledged to the sheriff's office. It's completely up to you on that. So the town of Turin does have these. They've actually had them for 3 years or so now, and they've been successful in helping us with, or helping the sheriff's office in investigators.
I like the idea. I'd like to talk to, I know the mayor down there, talk to him, get their perspective on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, as more and more we have, a lot of things coming out of Meriwether County up 29, this being the major thoroughfare coming to the interstate. It's one of the things that I approached you about talking with the heat team and stuff like that, because we do have the heat team also working with us here in the town right now. They are trying to help us slow the traffic down, and also we've got our signages up, speed limit signs, and then with Daniel Smith help at the heat team, they brought down their I call them trailer
Speed trailers.
Speed trailers, and they're recording the speed and the time of day of their speed, and so hopefully we get a good idea of what's going on to help go into our neighborhoods and slow some of this traffic down, because everyone in here that lives in our community trying to get on 29 highway at certain times of the day is pretty difficult.
One other thing, did we have a question?
No, go ahead.
I'm going to move off of the LPR side. So is that in reference to this?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead with it.
No, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. So the county, the city of Moreland is responsible for paying for them and keeping them, just for the benefit of the county. I presume.
It's a benefit of the town
too.
Right. Yeah, I see that. It just seems like it'd be an extension of the county, don't you?
So we have, I don't know how many cameras, I think it's 15 to 24 cameras that we purchased. 42 cameras. So the county, we have 42 across the county. This current budget year, and Mr. Mayor and City Council, and thank you guys for being curious questioners and learners. We actually put in a pretty large budget request for LPRs and LZACs and all these other acronyms that I'm really struggling to stay up with. But we asked for a ton of them because we have found that technology in the 21st century, our young deputies are using technology on a daily basis. I'm a Dave Ramsey guy, and so I know that if I spend money, I need and I expect to see results. And we have purchased technology that's advanced in my past 26 years in law enforcement, and we have found that LPRs are solving crime, and our deputies and our police officers are getting on their MDTs, their mobile data terminals, their computers, and they're stopping cars for some of the most minor offenses. It's a expired registration, it's a warrant for this person, or it's a person who's hit an algorithm that's decided that they've been up in the same area in DeKalb County committing internet autos or home invasions, and now that vehicle is alerting in our area, and so it's real-time information and it's real crimes that we're solving every day. We get into a car chase, we lose that car, that tag is put in the system, and then they hit in Fayette County. We're solving crime in Coweta County 4 hours later because there's really no place to escape. If we can saturate some of the roadways. And I know that for today's economy, it was impossible for us to grow our LPRs for Coweta because of the military rollbacks. And so what we have this year is what we're going to have for this next budget year. But a little bit in Moreland goes a long way, a little bit of data. And I would never undersell the power of 4 LPRs, because I would say that that's a good small number to start with.
Now, no question, no doubt, no complaint about that whatsoever, and I believe everything that you're saying. I think the benefit of it is good.
Yes,
My question basically is geared toward the cost and expenditure, who's to pay for it? That was my main question.
Yeah.
The benefit of it, absolutely, I agree with everything that you said. I have no doubt or question about that. It's just that I just understand that it's the responsibility for Moreland to pay for it and not an extension of the county to cover it.
That's to my understanding. I don't know the governmental fiscal responsibilities, but I'm here to tout the effectiveness of it. I think that maybe there's intergovernmental cooperation and maybe some splitting of fees. I don't know. I would love to be the negotiator between this government and Coweta, because we want and we need more LPRs, but I'm a gut.
Well, I'm just saying, the benefit of it, and I think we
Yes,
all
sir.
agree upon the benefits of it. It's just a matter of who splits the bill for it and as to why.
Yes, sir.
We have money available from the SPLOST and also from the money from ARPA that we can utilize. It's for things like that too, so it's not coming out of our tax dollars or anything else. So we have a lot of money that we need to use, and we're ready to do that. But like I said, I think we need to get a little more information on it, and go ahead with your.
So the other thing I was going to bring up, we also have live view cameras. I hear y'all are getting a pickleball court. Are y'all planning to put any kind of cameras over that in case there is an incident or anything?
I haven't even thought about it yet.
So for us, it's the same thing. It's a subscription based. The camera goes down. That's on us to replace bad weather, normal conditions, whatever it is. That's our responsibility. The only thing that we need is power run to it. We need 120 volts and 15 amps. So if you have a light pole, you can mount it straight to it, and then you have live view. Yet again, you can share that directly with the sheriff's office. The footage is kept for 30 days, and then a rolling cycle falls off. So another option for security at your parks as well.
Is that $3,000 a month? I mean, a year as well?
Correct.
Now, why would we need a live camera on a pickleball field?
Somebody hurts themselves and wants to sue the town.
Pardon?
Somebody hurts themselves and wants to sue the town.
We don't have insurance for that?
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, if you can show neglect or something like that.
And also, people destroy things around here.
So would y'all be putting those in the park, in the mill as well?
Again, we haven't even talked about it. We got cameras all over the mill right now.
And the park.
And the park. They're
Live
right here.
cameras, is that what you're saying?
They're right here.
These 75 feet out.
Got another question.
I think I overheard that Coweta purchased 42. Why couldn't 2 come to Moreland as a test run?
That's up to the sheriff's office.
I mean, if they're purchased through Coweta County, where are they stationed at? Are they in Noonan or here or where? Why in one central location? Why can't 2, if they've purchased 42 for the entire county, why can't 2 come up here on the main drag? And that way it's covered. That way it's not coming out of your tax money right away.
So very good question, Russell Pickron. We have 448 square miles of Coweta County. And what we're trying to do is get the most heavily populated roadways. And again, we've asked for more LPRs to saturate the entire Coweta County, 448 square miles. And for now, they're fixed stations, and every time we move those, there is a cost associated with them. So what we're trying to do is not move cameras and not try to lose crime information and data in other places. We're trying to add to that. So it's not like we have neglected Moreland. We're growing throughout the county. We've been requesting to grow through the LPRs.
Yeah, you can almost think of it like a fishing net. The whole county, the county's goal is to cast as big of a net as possible, catch as much information, whereas Moreland would be catching what's coming into Moreland. So kind of focus in that.
20 years ago, we didn't have to worry about stuff like that. It was one of the fastest growing counties in the state. Crime comes down to 85, which is 2 miles up the road. So we do have to worry with that. But I appreciate y'all coming and talk to us. We'll take a look at it. And we'll probably get with the sheriff's office too a little bit. And and see what we can do.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
New business, what we're here for, Kyle Brummett is...
After the meeting, GT requested a copy of the contractual agreement with CCSO and Flock, as well as locations of all Flock camera systems CCSO uses. Follow-up requested number of systems CCSO purchased from Flock. Initial response had redactions that was challenged by GT. CCSO then removed some of the redactions in a follow-up response. However, CCSO still failed to show the locations and number of cameras purchased to include the contractual agreement in its entirety. CCSO does not have an option according to the Georgia Open Records Act on what records to censor or choose not to release. There is a full contractual agreement and GT only received a portion of the agreement. Why was the agreement not released in its entirety with redactions made in accordance with the Georgia Open Records Act? If each camera costs an annual fee of $3,000, then why was the annual fee for CCSO set at $40,000 for Warren Campbell's statement of $42,000? Shouldn't the total cost of cameras purchased be approximately $126,000 annually? Is Warren Campbell getting any kickbacks from sales? Why is CCSO withholding public records as well as censoring public records? If the number of cameras violate GCIC, NCIC protocol, then why did Warren Campbell release such sensitive information in a public meeting?
I think it's 15 to 24 cameras that we purchased. 42 cameras. So the county, we have 42 across the county.
It is the people's tax money, and we have a right to know where it is being spent and what it is being spent on. GT served an intent to file a federal lawsuit against CCSO to enforce compliance of the Georgia Open Records Act. GT requested a financial compensation amount of $1, and if successful, that $1 to be donated to the Wounded Warrior Project, as well as provide more training and compliance to the records clerks of CCSO. GT fully plans to file a federal lawsuit if public records are not released. Is Missy here?
Right there, she's about to see someone.
Oh, cool beans. Can I get stamp received and a copy?
I'll ask her what I need to do.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to have. He wants me to stamp it.
Stamp it.
Yeah, if you could stamp received.
Oh, received.
That I've received a copy that's been a copy that's been received, and then
yeah, just stamp it with the received one there. Yes, make sure the date's changed.
And then make a copy, you said?
Make a copy and give him the copy.
So I have a question since you're right here. The number of Flock cameras that Coweta uses, Warren Campbell has already admitted to the number in a Moreland City Council meeting, and I don't understand how that violates GCIC protocol. That means he would have violated GCIC protocol. And I've already filed a lawsuit against Meriwether County for concealing and censoring open records.
Yes.
And this is a 30-day notice. I will file a lawsuit against this. I want that information.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I gave you all the codes for everything that I did.
Okay. Well, that has nothing to do with GCIC. The number and locations of cameras has got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I gave you a specific code which said the existence and the location. I mean, so
well, then that means
I beg to differ on that.
Well, then that means Warren Campbell violated it as well because he talked about locations in a public meeting.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Y'all have a great day.
You too.